Good morning, world. It is 5 o'clock, about 5 o'clock in the morning, obviously. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video that I made a couple hours ago at 11 o'clock. The internet cord's here, so I can make another video and I can upload it right away. You guys will watch the show in a couple hours now, around 6:45, 7 o'clock, 7:10 around there. You guys will watch this video, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed my last video where I talked about the contracts, Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, or the Russo brothers. The same contract applies for all the people whoever I signed my movie. If I signed Rian Johnson, the same thing applies for him too. Like I'll pay him 0.1% of the profits. Depends how much he's worth. If he's worth like I don't know, if by 2026 Rian Johnson's worth $100 million because he signed his like massive like $500 million deal with Netflix. I don't know how much of that is salary, perks, movies going towards the movie. I don't know. Like chances are the $500 million deal Rian Johnson signed is probably like some of it is probably his salary, and then some of it's probably perks, some of it's probably the budget of the movie, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the whole package, obviously. Because I went online and it still says Rian Johnson's worth like $25 million. So if he signed his $500 million, his net worth should have went up by now. So chances are his deal has to do with some of it's his salary, some of it's perks, some of it's the budget for some of it's probably a good chunk of that's probably the budget for the film. The budget for the film for each of his Knives Out movies. Yeah, I don't know if he's worth like $100 million by 2026 when I start Sky Source. 2025 around there, I'll pay him a Jon Favreau deal. $34 million sign bonus, 6.8, 3.5, and I'll give him 0.2% of the profits. But it's conditional, obviously, for Rian Johnson. I'll give him. With that deal, I'm easily not competing with his Netflix offer, his Netflix deal. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I'm going to be very, very strict with all the bigger A-list actors, my 7 team, and all them. That way, what the small A-list actors, I don't have to change their contracts because they're all, if even if my movie does like even a 1.5 million people buy a movie, they're only going to make an extra $1-2 million because they're getting a small tiny piece of the pie. Hence why I'm not going any higher than 0.05 for the small A-listers. You know what I'm saying? So the max amount of money a small A-lister can make in royalties is like 20 million around there. 20, 19 million a small A-lister, which is still a lot of money, obviously, but it was the bigger ones make their 30 plus in royalties. But you have to be careful, man. Do not let the bigger A-listers do not let Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni or like Ryan Coogler, Rian Johnson, or the Russo brothers, James Gunn. Who knows? I might hire James Gunn. James Gunn and Jon Favreau, a good combination. And hire James Gunn instead of Dave Filoni. But Dave Filoni's cheaper than James Gunn, you see what I'm saying? Dave Filoni would gladly work for me for 15 million sign bonus and 2 million yearly salary. Whereas James Gunn would demand more money, obviously. He's bigger than Dave Filoni. James Gunn, I'd pay him to grab him from DC, pay him $4 million signing bonus. That's good for him, and pay him a rich 4.5 million year salary and like a 2.6 million, 7 million yearly salary, and you give him 0.1% of the profits. It's a good deal for James Gunn, obviously. And Zack Snyder and James Gunn are good too. Obviously. They're good candidates for my co-CEOs of my company, obviously. See, I want to be a co-CEO of my company. You have to have producing experience. It's good. I want the guy to have screenwriting experience, directing experience, and producing experience. That way they have many hats. Because my co-CEOs are gonna be my co-writers. They're also gonna be my assistant directors. They're gonna help out the directors. It's good to have these guys who have many hats. Jon Favreau fits the category. He has producing experience. He has directing experience. He also has what screenwriting experience too. I believe he wrote Mandalorian. I believe he also co-wrote Iron Man. I believe Iron Man 2. I think he wrote it too. I think he directed it too, and he produced it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hence why Jon Favreau's really really good for my company, obviously. And Dave Filoni wrote episodes of Mandalorian too, and so they're both really really good candidates, obviously. But something tells me Jon Favreau will click with what I might do is I'm gonna if I hire Jon Favreau first, I might fly him in first. I'll ask him, hey John, out of all these candidates, who do you think you'll work best with? You think you'll work best with Dave Filoni, James Gunn? You know what I'm saying? Do you think you'll work best with Ryan Coogler? You know what I'm saying? Ryan Johnson, he's J.J. Abrams. And I won't work well with J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson. You know what I'm saying? They fucked up fucking George Lucas Star Wars. Yeah. There's a reason why John and Dave brought Luke, the real Luke, back in Mandalorian. They wanted to make a statement to Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I brought back the real Luke, where you guys had the hermit Luke, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Somebody tells me John will tell me, Ivan, I think Dave Filoni's your man. You know, so I worked with him for fucking. I think I'll click the best with Dave Filoni. I'm pretty good friends with him. We're co-executive producers of the fucking Mandalorian, and Ahsoka and Boba Fett. Jon Favreau's not the producer of Obi-Wan, so he had nothing to do with Obi-Wan, obviously. But Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and Mandalorian, he's involved in all those three projects, obviously. Whereas Obi-Wan, Acolyte, and Andor, I don't think Jon Favreau's involved with that. I think that's Kathleen Kennedy. Well, Kathleen Kennedy oversees everything, obviously. She's a boss of Lucasfilm, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So I did the math. Jon Favreau will make his $100 million for my Zane's movie, whereas all the movies after that, he will make on average like 60 to 100 million too, around there. Just depends. Obviously. If the movie grosses more, Jon Favreau will take 0.1. He'll make like his 60, 70 million royalties. Good deal for him. If he takes a 0.2 and it does less, he'll make his like 100 million. Obviously, I don't mind if Jon Favreau makes $100 million of my money, but the moment you pay him 150, 200, you're being way, way too generous. As that's how much Kevin Feige, Mark Wahlberg, and them are fucking worth. And then Jon Favreau just got an easy $150 million. No. I don't mind Jon Favreau making $100 million, 108, 110, 100, 80, 90, 70, 60, $50 million. He'll make around that range, obviously. But the moment he makes like 150, 200 million dollars, you're now being too generous and he's ripping you off. You might get mad, Ivan. Why is it such a big deal to you? Like me taking 0.2, like it's fucking chump change, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? You and V's are gonna make, I don't know. You and V's are gonna make your what? You're like $54 billion off your fucking Great Escape movie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make your like $62 billion off Zanus. You know what I'm saying? $60 billion off Zanus, $62 billion off Zanus for your movie, obviously. Giving me like $150 is pocket change, Ivan. I'm like, yeah, John, I know it's pocket change, but like, if you think I'm gonna let you go get away scot free with $150 of my money, you're crazy. I'm gonna have conditions applied for the contract. That's how it works. If more than 1.1 billion people, or the movie, for Zanus, if the movie does more than $176 billion, you get 0.1% of the profit. You're still gonna make your $100 million. I'm still giving you a good deal, and Dave Filoni will still make his like $40 million in royalties. As if I give Dave Filoni 0.1, obviously, and what, and the movie does like $240 million. Dave Filoni's taking home like almost like 80, 90. That's, you're being way too generous. No, I don't mind Dave Filoni taking 30, 40, 50, but the moment he takes home 70, 80, 90, 100, you're being way too generous. You have to have balance. Do not let these guys rip you off, you know what I'm saying? If John gets angry, I'm like, John, if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't even give me a piece of the fucking royalties. Yeah, Ivan, if I were you, I wouldn't give any of these actors a piece of royalties. Fuck that, it's not worth my royalties. The amount of money you're paying them is good enough, yeah. Even Peter Jackson will tell me, like, when Peter Jackson's in the room with me, if he's hired, and I sign all of my stars for Zays, like, even Peter Jackson will tell me, Ivan, you're being a bit too generous, man. Like, you're giving Ariana Grande 0.05% of your money. She's taking home, like, what? Like, Ivan, like, Ariana Grande's gonna take home, like, $24 million of your money, Ivan. Ivan, you're willing to give away, like, $60 million of your money to all your actors for Zanes? I would never do that. Like, Peter, you're being greedy. Like, I'm taking home 69%. Me and VJ are gonna make our $62 billion. It's fucking pocket change, Peter. Ivan, still, like, they're not even worth your money, Ivan. Ivan, the amount of money you're paying them is a lot of money, man. This is more than how much most actors make in Hollywood for in fucking Hollywood. Like, with this money, these guys can all live the life. They can feed their families, Ivan. Like, Peter Jackson might tell you that. Ivan, the money that you're paying them, the 4 million, the 8.9, the 8.5 million is more than enough. Like, they're walking away with millions in the bank. They can feed their families. They can buy their nice clothes, their nice cars, Ivan. Like, you don't need to give them a piece of the royalties, Ivan. You're being too generous, Ivan. A lot of people take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Peter, you're being greedy. Like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. If you give the actors a small, Peter, I'm only giving them a small, tiny piece. Most of them are going to make 0.01% of the pie. Obviously, I'm going to go a bit over. Ivan, how much money would make? I don't know. Me and Vijay will make like 69 point. No, me and Vijay will make 68.7% for Zanus. 68% is not. I don't mind at all because me and Vijay are taking the majority, the good chunk of the pie. Amazon took the small chunk of the pie. Whereas 60, 40, 50, taking 59% kind of pisses me off. And that's why my deal is 70-30 for Amazon. Obviously, it'll set my deal. Obviously, you can even do 71-29 for Amazon if you want, but that way me and Vijay take 70. But I mean, it's all good. Just do 70-30. 70-30 is a good deal. I'm saying, Peter Jackson, yeah, Ivan, 70-30, like, if I were you, my deal would be like 75-25, 80-20. Because Peter Jackson's greedy. Yeah, if I were you, Ivan, I'd give Amazon like 25% of my money, 20% of my money. I would never give them 40%. That's crazy, Ivan. But 70-30 is a good deal, Ivan. You're still taking the majority of the pie. Yeah, me and Vijay are taking the majority of the pie. Whereas 60-40, Amazon's taking like almost half of your money, man. That's why you gotta be careful. 70-30 is a good deal for Amazon. And hence why, even though I'm giving these Zanes actors a piece of the pie, I'm giving them 0.01%. Most of them. That way they don't rip you off. You see what I'm saying? So even if Angelina Bassett's worth like $20 million, Angelina Bassett's worth about like $20 million around there. She's like just as big as Andy Serkis. She's an A-list actor. I'm not giving her any more than 0.01. Because you gotta watch out with I'm giving all my 15 like stars a piece of the pie, man. As well as my 17. So yeah, you do the math. Me and Reach are taking home like 68.7% of the pie. So we're going like 1.03% over 1.0. Yeah, I'm giving like 1.03% of my money, man, to all the actors and Peter Jackson, all them. I'm only doing this for Zanus. For the Great Escape movie, only like the 4 or 5 small acers and the 3 bigger acers get only the 8 get a piece of the pie, obviously. Whereas the biggest actors and everyone else don't get squat, man. And the director, the assistant director and director, I'll give them a small 0.1% of the pie too. And that's it. No, after Zanes, I am never doing something like that again where I give 15 actors a piece of the pie. No. I'm never going to do that. But Zanes is a unique story, and I want these actors for Zanes to work hard for me. I don't want them to slack off. With the money I paid them, they're going to work their ass off. But if I get a piece of royalties, they're going to completely destroy the role. They're going to lose themselves. They're going to destroy the role so much, they're going to lose themselves. They're going to lose themselves in character, man. Lose themselves in character. Yeah, they're going to destroy the role. Me and VJ are going to destroy the role because we know we're going to make our billions off the merch. Yeah. Me and VJ know, yeah, VJ, once we release the merch like a month and a half after filming, obviously, we're going to make our, our $45, $50 billion in royalties. You know what I'm saying? Me and VJ. We're going to strike it rich, obviously. We're going to make our money back. Yeah. We invested on $1.2 billion for the movie with Peter Jackson starring and all stuff, and we made our money back, yeah. We made our money back, obviously, hence what? We're going to work hard, obviously, because we know we're going to strike it rich with the merch. We're going to strike it rich with the speaking fees, and we're going to strike it rich with the what? with the movie sales. Yeah. Me and you, VJ, are gonna make like $110 billion, VJ, off the movies and the merch. That's why me and VJ are gonna work our asses off. We're gonna work hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna work hard, obviously. Yeah, all Ivan has to do is just work for like 9 months, hard work, and he gets his like $50 billion check for the merch, for the World of Buy, obviously, and he gets like another like $62 billion check. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna tell VJ, sweetie, please. Even though we're gonna make a lot of money, keep it to yourself. Don't go bragging to the Zane's actors how much we're gonna make. Otherwise, John Boyega and Yvonne Joje, and even though Yvonne Joje, I don't know, even though Yvonne Joje makes his 9 million, 9.5, he walks away with like a $5 million check in his bank, $4.9 million check in his bank, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? John Boyega makes his like 14.5. He walks away with like a $5.3 million check in his bank. Fat check, obviously. They can buy their nice $200,000 BMW, their Ferrari. They can get their nice cars, obviously. You can buy their nice house, their nice $1 million condo, $2 million condo, nice rent, nice apartment, buy themselves nice clothes. The amount of money they made is pocket change per how much VJ made. So I'm sorry, that's why my cape. You know what I'm saying? Don't brag to Ariana Grande, VJ. Don't brag to Don Cheadle. Don't brag to Idris Elba. Even though they signed massive contracts and they're all walking away with $7, $8, $9, $10 million in their bank, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? 6 million, 6, 7, 8, $9 million in their bank, $10 million in their bank, those guys. Ariana Grande's walking away with like 13, $12 million in their bank. Keep it to yourself, VJ. Don't go bragging to the Zane's actors. Otherwise, they can get pissed off and angry. Don't go bragging to Peter Jackson either. As even though Peter Jackson signed a massive contract, I don't know, he signed his like $400 million contract, $300 million in royalties, 107 salary. He can get envious because he's not making the kind of money we're making. So I'm saying it's pocket change, guys. The amount of money I pay Peter Jackson, guys, is chump change, is pocket change. Even if he makes $300 million in royalties, me and VJ made like $50 billion for the merch. We made like $62 billion for the movie. You see what I'm saying? We made a lot of money. Yeah, that's why VJ, keep it to yourself. Don't go bragging to the actors or even Peter Jackson or Jon Favreau. Otherwise, they can get envious. They can get mad. You see what I'm saying? Trust me, man. Even though Jon Favreau's going to strike it rich, $100 million, you know what I'm saying? Jon Favreau striked it rich. He made his like, I don't know, Jon Favreau made his like $90 million after taxes. Obviously, for Zayas, he made a lot of money, obviously. It's pocket change compared to how much me and VJ made. It's chump change. You see what I'm saying? Me and VJ made like $110 million off Zanus and what? Off Zanus and what? Off Zanus. If 1.5 billion people buy a movie, me and VJ will make like 110 billion for the movies and the merch. Obviously. If what? If like less than 170, if 176 billion people or less, me and VJ will make like 80 billion around there in royalties. We're still gonna make a lot of money the way $80 billion will make. 75 billion around there, 80 billion will make. So compare the what? The 62 billion me and VJ made, or the 55 billion me and VJ made. The 54 billion me and VJ made. Compare the 62 billion me and VJ made to the what? To the 5 million, 6 million, 4 million, 7, 8, $9 million, the $10 million the Zane's actors made. $12 million the Zane's actors made. So you know Zane's actors made their millions, rich, they strike it rich. It's chump change compared to how much me and VJ. Me and VJ are giving them peanuts. We're giving them a small, tiny piece of the pie, as they're not worth my royalties. If they get angry, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're giving them a small, tiny piece of the pie, obviously. Because at the end of the day, these actors are not worth my royalties. Because me and VJ are the main fucking show, but I'm nice enough to give them a small, tiny piece of the pie. You see what I'm saying? I am nice enough to give them a small, tiny piece of the pie. But if they know, so if John Boyega and them get greedy and they want like 0.05, I'm like, John, you're getting greedy. I'm not giving you any more than 0.01. As I have to watch off my budget. Yvonne Joje gets a 0.01. You get your 0.01. That's good enough. You're going to make your, like, I don't know, $4 to $5 to $6 million in royalties. You sign it. It's a good deal. Money that you don't make in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you make your $1 million. I'm giving you a good deal. Obviously. And yeah. That's my, That's my deal for John Boyega. If Don Cheeto gets greedy and he wants like 0.05, I'm like, Don, I'm not paying you any more than 0.03. You're not Ariana Grande. You're not as big as her. You're a bigger actor than her, but she's a bigger celebrity than you. That's why I'm giving her 0.05 at the high end. I'm paying her the most because Ariana Grande is bigger than all these actors by a milestone. Hence why you give her the highest royalty. 0.05 should make a nice 16 to like 20 million royalties. She signed a massive deal, obviously. A 25 million deal she signed. Yeah. Obviously. You see what I'm saying? If Idris Elba gets greedy and he wants like 0.04, I'm like, Idris Elba, I'm not giving you any more than 0.02. That's good enough for the role of Takisa first. You're going to make, your $11 million to like $13 million in royalties, excluding your 12 million salary. Yeah, you sign your what? You sign like your 20, your 23, 24, 24 million deal, Idris Elba. I'm giving you a good deal. Walking away with what? I don't know, like a $9-10 million check in your bank after taxes and the rates. He's walking away like a $9 million check in his bank, Idris Elba. It's a fat check in the bank, man. Because don't forget, it depends where he lives. If he lives in the States, he'll make more. If he lives in London, he'll make a bit less. He'll make maybe $8 million or something like that. 8.5 million around there after taxes and the rates. Because his pounds are worth a lot more than the American and Canadian dollar. But even in pounds, he still walked away with, I don't know, 9 million in his bank. He's struck it rich, obviously. He's like $10 million richer, but like, you know what I'm saying? But even though he made a lot of money, it's still nothing compared to how much me and VJ made. It's nothing compared to how much Mel Gibson or Peter Jackson made. It's nothing compared to how much Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni made. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm going to tell Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, look guys, when you sign this contract, keep it to yourselves. Don't even tell the secretaries, or the only ones who will know are the accountant and the legal advisor. They're going to know the kind of money I'm paying Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni because they're going to be in the room, obviously. But even though the accountant and all of them know, but everyone will know how much I pay them because everyone saw my videos. But my point is, don't go bragging to them and telling them I'm making this money. Don't do that, otherwise they can get envious. You see what I'm saying? Keep it to yourself. Stay humble. As I'm not going to tell Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni how much money I made for my book. It's none of their business. The only person I'm going to tell how much I made, I'm not even going to tell my family how much I made. My family asked me, Ivan, how much money did you make? How much money did you make? I'm like, I'm not telling you. It's none of your business. Did you make a lot of money, Ivan? Yes, but it's none of your business, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell my family how much money I made. Just like they don't tell me how much money they make. I'm not telling them how much money I made off my book. It's none of their business, obviously. After what you did to me, I'm taking my money and I'm peacing out. And I'm going to see my wife in Los Angeles, and you guys are going to be left behind. Do what you deserve, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why what? That's why you gotta have balance in how much you pay these guys. Do not let Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni rip you off if they're hired. This is my deal, John. You get your $34 million signing bonus. It's a good deal. You get your $6.8 million yearly salary. You get your $3.5 million yearly salary. That's a good deal for you, John. And you get your $250,000 post-filming bonus. Obviously. That's money for you to blow, obviously, for your to spend. You can what? You can use that money to buy your family souvenirs in the country that you visit. You get taken on a vacation, obviously. And what? And you get 0.2% of the profits if the movie does $176 billion or less. If the movie does more, you get 0.1. That way you have balance, and that way John doesn't take home something crazy like 160, 170, $200 million. If I don't know, if 1.5, 1.6 million people buy my movie, Jon Favreau's gonna be taking home like 180 and 190 million. That's too much. You're being too generous. As what? As what? This is money that celebrities in Hollywood will never make. You see what I'm saying? Like you're being way too generous. Okay, John, keep Jon Favreau's royalty check around that like 50 to 100 million dollar range, 108 million dollar range. He'll make his 108 for what? 108 million for Zanus around there. Even if he makes 0.1, he'll still make his $100 million for Zanus because my movie's gonna gross more because I'm pricing it for 160. Whereas all my other movies after Zanus, Jon Favreau will make on average 60 to 100. Just depends on how much money the movie does. The movie does under 110, he'll make 0.2. He'll make about his He'll make about his $190 million around there. If he takes home 0.1, he'll make like his 60, 70. You know what I'm saying? 60 million, 66 million around there. Chances are my movies will do more than more than the amount. As Jon Favreau will most likely be taking home a 0.1% from all my movies. But even then, he's still going to take home his 160, $50 million in royalties. So for all my movies, so for Zayn is Jon Favreau sign like $50 million deal. For Zayn, he's going to make his $100 million guaranteed. I did the math. And for The Great Escape, he'll take home most likely like $60 million. So he made like about $100 million for. Yeah, Jon Favreau will make about $100 million for all my other movies after the Great Escape. He'll make about 60, 70 million in royalties around there, John, on average. If he takes home 0.1. 60 million bucks around there, he'll make. Yeah. That's most of the A-list actors are most likely going to take home 0.07% of the profits. So which is about like $38, $40 million in royalties. The ones who are worth 70 to like 199, those guys are all going to take home most likely 0.07%. Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson are most likely going to take home 0.07%. Because something tells you my movie will do more than 1.1 people are going to buy a movie. But if less buy it, they'll make their 0.1 and they'll make their nice like $50 million in royalties, which is nice, obviously. And if more buy it, they make a bit less. They get what? They get like $40 million. They're like, Ivan, you're being a bit greedy. Like so the more money you make, the less you pay us. Yes, I don't want you duping me, obviously. You would think the more money I make, the more money they make. In Hollywood, how it works is the more money the company makes, the more money the actors make. But for my company, it's the opposite. The more money I make, the more I lower the amount, because I don't want these actors duping me, man. If you think I'm gonna let you, if you think I'm gonna give like I don't know Will Smith, Jon Favreau, and like you know what I'm saying, all these fucking actors like Keanu Reeves like $150, $200 of money, that's crazy, man. You're being way too generous, way too generous. You gotta have balance. If the movie does more than this, you get 0.2, you get 0.1. Now when you'll still make your $100 million, but it balances out. Keanu Reeves will make his 100. Even if he gets 0.1, he'll still make his 100. Keanu. Will Smith will still make his 100. It's like 108. He'll still make his $100 million. $110 million he'll make. He sound like a $170 million deal. So Will Smith and Keanu Reeves are walking away with what? Like an $80 million check in their bank, man. $78, $80 million after taxes and the rates. If my company were in America, Will Smith and Keanu Reeves would have walked away with like a $100 million check, whatever it is. Because you have the rates, they make a bit less. They make like $80 million, which is still a lot of money. Almost $100 million richer. You know what I'm saying? Keanu Reeves most of the I don't care about the rates. Dwayne Johnson will be like, I don't care about the rates. Even with the rates, I'm still making like more money than how much Hollywood pays me. yeah. You're gonna make your $80 million after taxes. Dwayne Johnson's highest paycheck I heard was like $69, $70 million in 1 year. He made and that was doing like multiple movies in Hollywood. He did like 3 movies. Whereas for my one movie, you got your like $80 million after taxes. You made your $160, $70 million. Dwayne Johnson, or Will Smith, and Keanu Reeves. But to have balance, if the movie does more than 110 billion, you get 0.2, the big ones. And Jon Favreau gets 0.1. You gotta have balance, obviously. You'll still make his like $60, $70 million. You have to have balance. Obviously, if my movie does $150 billion, the guys get 0.2. And the guys who are worth that $200 million range get 0.1. And the ones who are lower than them, the $199 to $70 million guys and women, those people get 0.07. You know what I'm saying? And that way you have balance and they don't rip you off. You know what I'm saying? And the high chance Scarlett Johansson might get mad. Scarlett Johansson might get mad. Why is 0.1% such a big deal to like? Who cares if like even if more than 1.5 million people buy your movie, Ivan? Even if 1.5 people buy a movie, Ivan, like, and we take home $70 million, that's pocket change, Ivan, compared to how much you're making. You know what I'm saying? Like Scarlett, if you think I'm gonna let you get away scot-free with like $70, $80 million of my money, you're crazy. Like I'm not gonna give you that money. I'm being too generous. 50, 40, $30 million is good enough. I'm not gonna go any harder than that. You have to keep them around that range. The way they don't rip you off. You know what I'm saying? So except for it's a deal. Even 0.07% is still a lot of money. Yeah, you're still gonna make your like $37, $40 million, $41 million, Scarlett. You and Ben Affleck are gonna walk away with your what? With your like $38, $40 million, $41 million after taxes. Fat check in the bank. You're $38, $40 million richer. You signed a massive contract, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Scarlett Johansson, Ben Affleck, with the bonuses and salaries alone, they're all making about $19-20 million after taxes. Obviously. And then if they make what, like $40 million in royalties, that's like $18-20 million after tax. Yeah, they made like $40 million. 37, 38, $40 million after taxes around there. About $40 million. Because maybe an extra 100 million. I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe what? Maybe 1.5 what? 0.1 million or something like that bought my movie and they made a bit more money. They made a couple more $1 million. I'm saying chances are Ben Affleck are going to walk away with about $40 million after taxes on the rates. Obviously, in the rates. Right? Because so if Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson make $40 million royalties, that's $31 million in American money. $31 million after taxes is $18.6 million. And your agent takes 10% of that. So you made like 17 million. 17 plus like 20 million you made. Yeah, they're going to walk away with like 37 million. But they might make more. They might make 45, 46, 47. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make about $40 million Scarlett Johansson. Whereas Keanu Reeves will make around that 75 to like 80 million range. Because don't forget, you have the rates, man. You have the American-Canadian rate. So if Keanu Reeves makes like, I don't know, $170 million, that's like $135 million in American money. After taxes is like 80 some million dollars, whatever it is. His agent takes 10%, he's walking away with like 75, 80 million. 75, 80 million dollars. So Keanu Reeves is almost $100 million richer after filming my movie. Yeah, he signed a massive deal. So compare the 80 million and the 40 million that Scarlett Johansson and Keanu Reeves made. Compare it to the 11, 9, you know what I'm saying? 11, 9 million, 7 million that Javier Bardem and all them walked away with. And the 1.4, you know what I'm saying, $900,000 that the Beast Actors walked away with. What? Keanu Reeves and them made their tens of millions. They made way more money. Everyone walked away with a nice paycheck. They all have enough money to live the dream life with that money. You can live the dream life with that money. You can go on a vacation, buy another car, a nice Porsche, another BMW, another Ferrari. You can get your nice cars, obviously. You can buy another house if you want. Buy your house. They already own their houses. You can go on a nice vacation with your family, feed your kids. Obviously, you can do good things with that money, obviously. But I told you, even though the small ace actors and what? And the Beast actors made a lot of money. It's nothing compared to how much money Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson made. As Ben Affleck and them are going to make like their $40 million in royalties, excluding their $46 million they made. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. As Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson signed a like an $85 million deal. Around there, 85 million. But they might, if they take home 0.1, they're going to make 50 million royalties. Obviously, show my count here.